Hey, hey, what's happening, my joyful people? It's Kimberly of Do All Things with Joy with your weekly edition of Share the Joy. I hope you guys are doing well. So, last week I brought you my video from sunny Florida where it was wonderful outside by the pool, and today it's raining. It's like not sunny Florida at all. But still lovely, still hot, still enjoying being here. And hey, it's so good to see you. Hope things are going well at Relentless. So I just wanted to let you guys know we're going to talk a little bit about yeast infections. And I know that's not a really fun topic to talk about, but for us ladies, and I told men before, we had the whole candida thing that I talked about before with like spitting in the cup and understanding whether you have a gut yeast infection. Well, it can kind of transfer when your body is full of yeast into a vaginal yeast infection. And so you guys know, yeast is not a plant. It is a type of fungus. It does not have, doesn't get its use from chlorophyll, but it feeds on itself. So they make their own food. And most of the time they make their own food from sugar. So just like with the gut yeast infection, reducing sugar, you can help yourself out, ladies, in that particular way as well. It's a type of vaginitis. Just there are different types of vaginitis, but this can cause itching. It can grow anywhere, so just know that this type of vaginitis can grow in the mouth, in the throat, the genitals, the armpits, the navel, the nose, the ears, fingernails and toes, and your digestive tract. So for those who think that this is just a lady's problem, it's not, and it can be one of those things that, like if your partner, you guys are having sex, you can spread that back and forth to one another. And for men, it doesn't really, you don't notice it. And so women may be like, why am I getting recurring yeast infections? Well, somebody sent me a message privately and said, can you talk about how to take care of yeast infections naturally? And so that's why I'm coming on here with this. So just know that if you happen to have a yeast infection and your husband has not treated himself for a yeast infection, you may be getting it, spreading it back and forth. So one of the things, a few things you can do naturally. You can keep your skin dry. Oh, hey, Cousin Eddie, good to see you, sweetheart. You can keep your skin dry and clean, wearing clean clothes. So a lot of times people at the beach or in the pool all summer have this issue. And I tell people all the time, it can be tough because you're at the pool, you're at the beach, you want to stay there. But when you're in a wet bathing suit all day, that is like breeding ground for yeast, okay? Breeding ground. So you don't want that. So make sure that you have some dry clothes to change into, in and out of. That would be helpful. Also supporting your immune system by eating healthy fats and vegetables is a natural way of taking care of having yeast. Eating fermented foods like yogurt, kefir, kombucha. Now I'm talking about people who, these are things you can actually do naturally that can help change what's happening in the body so you don't have to take medication. Sometimes yeast infections are so intense that you're like, look, I need something now. We'll talk about some of those things naturally that you can use. But if you're like, you know what, I'm just going to try to change the balance of my body and what's going on with the yeast in the body, this is something. So eating things like kefir, Greek yogurt, kombucha, sauerkraut, pickles, things like that. We talked about also decreasing the amount of sugar that you're taking into the body as well. And then rule out any allergies that you guys might have. So what people don't understand is that you can change your pH in your body just by the soap that you use, using like latex, like oils, tampons with fragrance, things like that can change your body and can cause yeast to grow. So that's another area that I want you guys to be concerned about. And if you have one, or this is an infection and you're trying to get rid of it naturally, here are some things that you can do. You can start upping your probiotic supplements because that will help change the gut flora bacteria, and that tends to eat the yeast and eradicate it. So increasing your probiotics and then also eating those fermented foods on top of it. Apple cider vinegar can also work. I've heard of people sometimes even taking a tampon and dipping it in apple cider vinegar and then applying that. I have not done it. I don't get yeast infections very often. I mean, it's been a long time since I've had one. So I would just say, that's something that you could try. But always in everything, take precaution. I'm not a doctor. I'm just a health coach coming here giving you some options, and you can research them for yourself. Elderberry can also help to cleanse your liver from medications, because medications can also change. Hey, Toya, so good to see you, baby. Can also change your body's, pH and what's happening, and that can change what's going on in your vaginal area for your body. So boric acid, I know it sounds crazy. You're like, acid? I'm not putting acid. But honestly, doing a boric acid suppository, and this is something that I will tell you. Hey, Leslie, I want you to research on your own, okay? So if this is something you want to do, and I know people who have chronic yeast infections who use boric acid suppositories, and they say that it clears it up, and it's been used for years, for like centuries that people have used that. But take a look, there's a protocol to it. All right. So I just want you to know, thank you. I'm feeling really bronzy and glowy right now. And I bet you are too, coming from your vacation. So just know with boric acid, also antioxidants. So eating things like your fruits, strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, your kale, green leafies, all of that, getting plenty of antioxidants. And then if you want to take coconut oil, let's say you're having external itching, coconut oil, you can put tea tree oil, lavender, and myrrh. You don't have to do all three. You can do one or the other, but tea tree is really good for getting rid of anything that's fungal in the body. So even washing with the tea tree soap, that's one of the soaps that we use as a family, is helpful as well. And the coconut oil, because it's antimicrobial as well, you can put the oil and put the coconut oil and the essential oils together and rub that on the outside of your vaginal area. So I hope that these things have helped you for those who may be suffering with yeast infections and things like that. I've had, like I said, people private message me and ask the question, and I figured why not bring it to the masses and talk about it in a more public forum. So I know it's not something that you probably want to forward out because you're like, oh, I want people to think I have a yeast infection. Hey, guess what? You may have a friend who's suffering who doesn't want to say anything, and if you just hit the share button and send it out, this is something that could really, really, really help them. So even if you private message somebody, but just let me let you know, I love bringing things to you. I love when I know that I'm helping people who have asked me the question privately or publicly. So put your comments in the comment section about what I can help you with, and I'll do the research and help you out. All right. So peace and blessings. I hope you have an amazing start to your weekend and have a fabulous week. All right. And for those who don't know, I wrote a book as well, if you're watching this and you're new, called Share the Joy, 52 Weeks to Abundant Health. And you can take a look at that and it'll help you. Oh, hold on, Toya, you said something. Have you heard of people inserting coconut oil as a suppository? Yeah. So definitely have heard of it. That's what I'm saying, that whole thing with the boric acid, putting that in, putting coconut oil with actually tea tree oil. I've also heard, and this is something that within the Young Living community, people will use thieves and actually a sitz bath. Like if you have people who have never had babies, you may not know, but you get you sit in a tub, like a warm water, to ease the vaginal area from the birthing process, especially if you had a laceration like I did, unfortunately. And so it helps to soothe that area. But I've heard of people putting thieves soap or the cleaning solution, thieves cleanser, into the water, the warm water, and sitting there and saying that they've actually healed there, or I want to say healed, helped, because we can't say healed, helped, supported their vaginal itching. Okay. So I hope that works. And like I said, here's the deal. Do the research for yourself. We put things, and I'm not trying to be funny, but we'll do things like we'll take over-the-counter medication that we haven't done any research on, but we just are like, oh yeah, this definitely will work. And we take it, and we might be wreaking havoc on our body, but something natural like coconut oil, we were like, oh no, I couldn't put that on my vagina. But it's more natural than the stuff that they've created for us. So I just want you guys to realize that there are things that you can do naturally that won't disrupt your body as much as some of these harmful chemicals. So I hope you share the joy. I hope that if you want some more knowledge, you can grab my book called Share the Joy, 52 Weeks to Abundant Health on Amazon. And remember, the biggest thing I want you to do is just share this with other people. All right? Peace and blessings. Love you all much. Oh, I love you too, Toya. Thank you. And I love sharing knowledge. So anything you guys want me to research, I'm here for you. Okay. Peace. Have a great one.